साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। As a seeker, the first attempt one has to make is to bring about body disidentification. Dehatma bhav has to dissolve. What is Dehatma bhav? Dehatma bhav is I am this body. This feeling has to go. And for that, what can you do? Do whatever. Bang your head against the wall until you don't feel the pain. So what do we have to do? We have to, it is because of this body that, not because of this body, because of the identification with this body, that we have created the world as we know it. You understand? In other words, what is that? It is because of this body, because of which you are having relations, you are having aspirations, you are having birth and death, you are having past and future, you are having health and disease, you are having success and failure, you are having joys and sorrows, you are having hunger and thirst. Where do these emanate from? They don't come from outside. They come from this body. Identification. Because all of these, if there is no body, these things won't trouble you. Then how do we go beyond the body identification? You go, every day you go beyond that body identification. At night when you are sleeping, you are not identified with the body because you are not there. For you, you were there, but the body for you was not there. Mind was empty. See? So that it is happening, but you are not taking that aspect into consideration in your when you do your sadhana. That it is happening. There is nothing in spiritual journey or practices that which you are not involuntarily doing on a daily basis. So then what do we have to do? Very typical example, which I have been saying it again and again, I don't know, and we have to keep practicing it, and that is do not get disturbed by the world, do not get and do not disturb the world by your thought, word and deeds. This is the first step. And then after having done that, do pranayam, do whatever, japa, whatever exercises, kundalini, kriya yoga, become involved with some exercise. All this comes under the yoga. Do some sort of yoga. Only through yoga, or we are just aspiring to become one with the Lord when we are doing japa, that is japa yoga. We are in so much love with the Lord that we are not even aware, concerned uh, uh, with the body. Just as you are so in love with the sleep that you are not concerned with your body, it goes out of your mind. Same way. So do something on a regular basis. Build up the momentum. Build up the the the, the purification of the mind that is required, by which you will go beyond the gravity of body identification. Understand? And the second that we need to dissolve from our is the Jivatma Bhav. What is Jivatma Bhav? That I am someone, I am an individual, I am a soul, I am someone who was born and someone who is going to die. This Jivatma Bhav has to be dissolved. This is at the subtle level, because there is a feeling within your mind. No doubt, why did it happen? It happened, okay. But our attention must be on how do I get out of it? How do I get out of it? And for that, until and unless we don't have a disciplined approach with deep conviction that this is where the problem is. I am essentially the infinite reality in essence, appearing, imagining, projecting within myself, within my mind, that I am this body and I am the soul. This imagination has gone so deep into our psyche that it requires a little bit of, like if there is a blocked pipe, you need a pressure hose to push the blockage through. Same way. And when that water is going through, and if the pipe is still blocked, what happens to the hose pipe? It starts shaking, going everywhere, because pressure is there, but same way we are going everywhere, running after this, running after that, running away from this, running away from that, imagining this, imagining that. The root cause, this is the root cause. Don't work on yourself superficially. See no evil, hear no evil, talk no evil, all that is okay. But understand, what are you going to get out of? What we want to bring about is body disidentification, Dehatma Bhav must melt away, which means I am the body, and the second part is Jivatma Bhav. And these things can go away only when we have a holistic view of the entire. What is entire? Waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi is entire. And what is yours is a only view of reality, that waking is the reality. Rest is all, you don't give too much attention, because it's happening anyway. All your eggs are in the basket of waking. But are you only the waker? No. You spend so much time dreaming, daydreaming, imagining, I'm going to do this in the future, I'm going to do that in the future. You spend good 7-8 hours in sleep every day. Is that not a part of you? That is also your experience. So until unless we don't take our whole experience into consideration, till then we cannot go beyond Dehatma Bhav and Jivatma Bhav. Another exercise could be, how does the Lord look at the whole thing? Because why do you go to temple? Why do you have faith in God? Because you say, God, I am a part of God and I am not other than God, and in essence God alone is expressing through our through this body. I just don't know it. If that is the case, what will be the vision of God towards the entire creation? Have we ever thought? This is called holistic thinking. Individual thinking can only bring about body disidentification. Holistic thinking will take you out of the Jivatma Bhav. And for that, you have to sit with yourself and get into the shoes of Ishvara. See? So, what will be the view of Ishvara? At a relative level, Ishvara does not create anything and Ishvara does not uncreate anything. He does not create the world and he does not destroy the world. Who? Ishvara. When we use the word Ishvara, it is with reference to Prakriti, Maya, ignorance, potentiality, Shakti. All these words are meaning the same. Avyakta, unmanifest. So you are life. And what is your Shakti? Your mind. Is the mind separate from you? No. So similarly, and what is your experience of the mind or the nature of the mind? It manifests and it unmanifests. Manifestation is waking and dream, and deep sleep is unmanifestation. Similarly, so where is this experience of manifestation and unmanifestation happening? At the mind level, not at the consciousness level, not at the pure consciousness level. Atmic level, it is not happening. Because if it was at Atmic level, would you be able to know? Can the sun know that it is of the nature of heat and light? No, because heat and light are inseparable from the nature of the sun. So if waking, dream, deep sleep, or the mind per se, which means mind means thoughts for you. That's why you say there is a mind, because you experience thoughts. Is it an inseparable nature of yours? No. Why? Because I know thoughts come and go. I know yesterday I slept, last night I got up from sleep. I know I had a dream. I know I was awake yesterday. Then who can know? Only he can know who is separate from something, isn't it? Only he can know who is separate from something. So Ishvara, it is his potentiality, so that one reality, which is one without a second, there is no distinction in it. For whatever reason, that's not your job and my job to work it out. It happens. We are just trying to trace our origin. And this is a helpful tool. when he becomes, when Paramatma, reality, pure consciousness, becomes aware of his potentiality, he is called Ishvara. And what is potentiality at the totality level? It is called Maya and the different names that I gave you. Now keep comparing it with yourself. You also become aware of your mind when you wake up in the morning, isn't it? In the deep sleep, you are not aware of your mind, that my mind is empty. You don't. If you do that, then you are in samadhi. That mind is empty. So Ishvara is the moment he becomes aware of his potentiality, or Paramatma, when he becomes aware of his potentiality, with reference to potentiality, he is called Ishvara. With reference to your wife, you are called a husband. With reference to your mind, you are called the soul or the consciousness. With reference to Australia, you are called Australian citizen. With reference to India, Indian citizen. Reference point is there. Reference is always between the two. Paramatma is one, appearing as two. Just like gold is one, appearing as two ornaments. Just like you are one, appearing as father and husband, two. It can be more also. But here, first step, two. Ishvara and Prakriti. Then where is this all manifestation and unmanifestation taking place? Is it happening in Ishvara or is it happening in Prakriti? It is happening in Prakriti because it is the nature of Prakriti to expand and contract, expand and contract. When you open your eyes, your vision expands. When you close your eyes, when you blink, vision contracts. Same thing with all your senses. Same thing with waking. Waking and dream is expansion. Deep sleep is contraction. Same thing, breathe in and breathe out. Same way, the pumping of your heart. Everything is that. The nature of Prakriti is involvement and withdrawal. Pravritti, nivritti. Again, pravritti, waking and dream. Nivritti, deep sleep or samadhi. And this is the nature of Prakriti. This is the nature of the potentiality. This is the nature of Shakti. Bring it to your level as an individual. What is your Shakti? What is your potentiality? Your mind. So where is the waking, dream, deep sleep taking place? In the mind. Then why are you disturbed? Let the mind handle it. Unnecessarily, or now you identify with the waking body, in the dream you identify with the dream body, and in deep sleep you have got no body. But with no body in the dream you are not disturbed. In dream every day your body is changing, your wife is changing, your children are changing, you are not disturbed. But in waking you are disturbed. Why? In waking you are looking for survival. Why? Deal with, let it be dealt. Nature will take care. But if you are a spiritual seeker and you want peace of mind even while living on a daily basis, if you keep doing what you have been doing till today, you will keep getting what you have been getting for till today. You have to change your interaction with yourself. You have to change, you have to do something different. So first is recognize waking, dream, deep sleep are happening at the mind level and it has got nothing to do with you. So Prakriti goes on doing manifestation and unmanifestation, Ishvara has got nothing to do with it. He continues to be the same. How does he continue to be the same? Just like the heat from the sun or the waking, the sunrise and sunset keep happening, but it has got nothing to do with the sun. Day and night happen every day, but it has got nothing to do with the sun. You tell the sun, thank you, sir, for the day. He says, I don't know what is day. Oh, okay, thank you for removing the night or darkness and the ignorance of night. He says, what is night? I also don't know that. From sun's point of view, there is no day and night. There is no sunrise and sunset. Similarly, Ishvara also, but does this phenomena of sunrise sunset happen every day and night happen every day? Yes. So does the manifestation and unmanifestation happen? Yes, but where does it happen? It does not happen in Ishvara, it happens in Prakriti. So where are all the experiences taking place in you? In your mind. And who are you? Other than the mind. Until and unless you don't experience this, body disidentification will not happen. This has to be brought about. Some people try very harsh methods. If you go to Thai Pusam in KL or in India, they all go into trance. They put swords into their mouth. They put, in all religions, they put nails. They hammer nails into their body, and nothing happens to them. Why? They're gone beyond, but that is very harsh way. They go into the trance and they are not able to experience their body, and whatever happens, happens. Nobody dies. But here, we are sitting in meditation and one mosquito comes and the whole bloody meditation goes haywire. To go beyond body identification, we have to purify the mind. We have to, because I still think I am the mind, so what I can do? I have to purify the mind. And what is the way to purify the mind? Either you do these physical exercises or breath exercises or name of the Lord, or you contemplate just the way I was explaining before. But when this is achieved, still I is there. I is still there. That I am doing this exercise. I am now having the experience that I am not the body. But to give up the Jiva Bhav, the feeling of the individuality. What is individuality? The identification. What is individuality? Individuality is, this is not at the gross level, this is at the subtle level. You may have, body is not just this gross body. Body is gross body, subtle body, causal body. So when we say you have to give up body identification, the first stage is physical body. Second stage, the subtle body. And how do you give up subtle body? By coming to this conclusion that you are not the waker, dreamer and sleeper. This is how you do it. Meaning what? Totality level. Totality level means Brahmaji is meditating on the Ishvara. Brahmaji is not Ishvara. He has got a job. He has to create. Vishnu is not Ishvara. He has to create, he has to maintain. Shiva has to destroy. Then who are they meditating upon? They are meditating upon the Ishvara. Don't give it a name. In Vishnu Puran that Ishvara is Narayana. In Shiva Puran that Ishvara is Paramashiva. And whatever. So they are meditating on their source, which is one without the second. So what are they doing? They are transcending their job description. So totality waker is Vishnu, totality dreamer is Brahmaji, totality sleeper is Shiva. And who is Ishvara? Who allows them to express, but himself is not disturbed by their expression. And where are they expressing? Where are these three expressing? Can we say Ishvara alone is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh? But can Ishvara appear as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh without the potentiality, without the Maya, without the Shakti? Not possible. So with reference to Maya, which expresses as Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, when Ishvara reflects in the Rajas, he is called as Brahma. When he reflects with reference to Sattva, he is called as Vishnu. With reference to Tamas, he is called as Shiva. Just like with reference to waking, you call yourself, you are a waker, there is a waker. With reference to dream, there is a dreamer. With reference to sleep, there is a sleeper. But are these three not coming and going every day? Yes. But do you feel you are coming and going every day? No. So holistic look is coming to this conclusion within yourself, a deep conviction that, hey man, all these three, the waker, dreamer, sleeper, are coming and going. I don't come and go. I know that they are coming and going, which means I must be other than the waker, dreamer and sleeper. When you come to know and are not disturbed by the waker, dreamer, sleeper, that day there is no difference between you and Ishvara. If you get disturbed by the waker, dreamer, sleeper, if you take them to be real, then you are an individual or you are a witness. So from Ishvara's point of view, the Shakti is his potentiality, it is inseparable. And with reference to that inseparable potentiality, when it manifests as Brahma and Vishnu. And when it unmanifests, there is Shiva. Your mind, when it manifests, it is waker and dreamer. And when it unmanifests, it's the sleeper. But someone knows it, no? In our case, there's someone knows. Who knows? I know. You ask Ishvara, Ishvara is not disturbed by them. He says, "Sab theek hai." Everything is okay. Because he alone is everything there. Ishvara is one without, well, okay, with reference to Maya, he is there, but he knows who he is. And therefore he is not swayed by Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. He is not swayed by any of the other gods. He is not swayed by space, air, fire, water, earth. He is not swayed by any experience. Therefore he is Ishvara. And that can only come about when that's why I said, think like Ishvara, holistic. Because Ishvara says, Ishavasya midagam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagata. The entire creation, where is the creation? It is his potentiality appearing as the entire creation. I am pervading the entire creation. Ishavasya midam sarvam. Ishvara or the Ish is the all pervasive principle. There is nothing outside it. It's like the ocean is saying, I am pervading all the waves. See? So, ocean is saying, I am pervading all the waves. Ishavasya. But when ocean is having all the waves, does it give individual importance to any wave? No. If wave comes and wave goes, ठीक है, that's the phenomena. Do you get disturbed by the coming and going of the waking or the dream or the sleep? If you get disturbed, you are not taking the total position. And you will remain undisturbed only when you take the position that you are other than the mind, yet supporting the manifestation and unmanifestation of the mind. All this is happening in you alone. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. When we come to this, then we have gone beyond Dehatma Bhav, body identification, and we think, when we put on the shoes of the Ishvara and think from his point of view, which is not possible, Purnamada Purnamidam, everything is one, so there is no thinking required. Then this Jivatma Bhava, that I am an individual, that I am separate to all of you. This idea that I was born, that I am going to die, that I have to survive, all this just melts away. Identification with the body or with the thoughts or with the waker, dreamer, sleeper, identification makes you into a ice cube. You think of the ocean, you think of the totality, just as that ice cube will think of the waters, slowly it will melt away. So what is bringing about the crystallization of the water into ice? The material is water in water, and the material in ice also is water. But ice is uncomfortable. Water is comfortable everywhere. So what is your crystallization? Your identification with your birth, death, body, waker, dreamer, sleeper, past, future, relations, possessions. This is your crystallization. Be a nobody. How to be a nobody? Think about the Ishvara. Think about from the all-inclusive principle, as I have explained. Slowly, the more we stay with this type of thought, with this type of contemplation, the Jiva Bhav will start melting away. Jiva Bhav is the one who says that I am this body. It is, I am an individual. I have a status. Individuality is specific. Wave is specific. But when you touch a wave, are you not touching the ocean or the absolute waters? So you are specific. You have a shape, you have a form. But you are at the same time the totality or the absolute. When are we going to accept it? How long we are going to play the self-pitying game that poor me, help me, God, please, I am a sinner, this, that. You can never commit from essence point of view, you can never commit a sin. From Jiva's point of view, you will only commit sin. But where is this sin and merit happening? Jiva करके कोई चीज ही नहीं है. There is nothing called Jiva. There is nothing called individuality. It's a ghost. So, sins of the ghost, merits of the ghost. See, so contemplate on these thoughts. And reclaim, be who you essentially are. Don't imagine you are this, you are that. Take any train of thought today, what I have expressed, and sit with it. Sit from the total point of view, or from absolute point of view, there is nothing to think, which you are not going to be able to do it. So if you have to think from totality point of view. And how do you think? Understand totality and individuality are both two spectrums of our mind. So if I have to choose, which only human beings can, then why do we choose only individuality? Why not the other spectrum, totality? Take the holistic view and sit with yourself.